going on? You are listening to the Good Cop Season 1 commentary. I am Clayton Cogswell, the director.
Derek Haugen.
Noel, Carroll, I produce things.
Jacob Gibbons, a guy.
Who also writes
and acts. Derek also writes and acts.
You're probably wondering why we're doing this commentary. Jacob.
We're doing it because when we were doing our Kickstarter, of course, we promised a lot of people who gave to our film to be completed. Our film, I Had a Bloody Good Time in House Archer. We said we would deliver some commentary tracks. But above all that, I think we've always wanted to do commentary for all the stuff that we've made. Isn't that right?
This is a very, very personal experience for all of us just to, like, you know, have our own gritty thing. And nobody should actually really even listen to this.
Yeah. I highly recommend you don't listen to what's
Can we get off this logo?
No, I like the logo.
Yeah.
Real quick, before we get off the logo, Tim's not here, though he wants to be here. Tim's actually got a job today working.
Oh, by the way, for those of you who do not know, Tim Sloan is our amazing audio engineer, sound recordist on set, composer, sound effects man. He's
everything you hear is his fault.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got some magic fingers for that background.
Oh my God,
I tell you,
so good. But we want him to give you some input here and then, so we're going to throw it to him, and you can pretend like he's in the room because since he's the audio guy, he's going to mix this in the end,
and he's going to record his own commentary.
Right, so he'll just pop in his commentary later, and you can pretend like he's in the room.
What do you think about that, Tim?
Well, clearly God is punishing me for something I did wrong.
That's so funny, Timmy. Tim, your humor is just
this is going to work.
Sloan.
This is going to work.
Let's press play.
Oh, those binoculars.
3:04 a.m.
Yeah, this was 2011.
Yeah, 2011.
Gosh.
And then one of the things that was important was the names on the screen right there. The fact that we tested this before we put it on YouTube. We showed it to some people, and we decided to add the character names there so that everybody watching it would see, oh, they're cops, they're partners. Make it very clear, because to the rest of the world, they didn't know who Nikki, Sledge, and Perkins were. So we made sure that was there.
This took place over 2 nights. I thought I had the flu. Apparently, the next day I was in the shower and I found little red spots all over myself. And at the age of 30-something, I got the chicken pox.
It's just perfect.
So I was dying.
We tried to make him press through it and shoot it all in one day.
Your mom didn't let you play with little kids when you were small?
No, she never let me out of the house.
Jeez.
Clayton, the boy in the bubble.
Okay, here's this song.
Oh,
absolutely.
This is where we knew Tim Sloan was our audio god.
A golden god.
Yeah. Tim wasn't with the team when we first started shooting this, but we were struggling with the song. Jacob had been writing some stuff and wrote a version of this that wasn't quite working, and then Tim was like, "Hey, gotta give it a pass."
And we're like, "Sure, dude, whatever." It's whole boom, and then he whips out this song, and we go, "Oh my gosh, it's Lethal Weapon."
Right.
I feel like we came up with the cars facing each other joke on the spot.
It was an accident.
It was by accident, right?
It was. We literally thought, okay, well, they're in like next to each other, facing the same way.
Clayton was about to move the cars. I'm like, why are you moving the cars?
That's right.
Derek's
That's right.
idea. That's
Derek was
right.
like, no, they should be facing each other.
I thought you guys did that on purpose. You're about to move the cars. I'm like, why?
It's funny.
So this is when we start to get a little bit of the characters. We had no idea who these guys were, but right here is where we first discovered Nikki is kind of a baby.
Yeah, it's true.
And Sledge is immortal.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is the opening gag that, like, Derek, you had a condition about this, right? Of, like, wanting to do this show.
Yeah.
Only
That's
if
right.
this gag happens.
Well, the script, we've been going back and forth almost 2 years, and then Jacob finally said, I have an idea, and I wrote him back saying, as long as I'm getting a blowjob in the back seat, I will. I remember. And Jacob's like, I have an idea. And 4 hours later, he sent us a rough draft of the first episode.
Kablamo.
So Kablamo, I called cut.
Yeah.
And Jake felt really good about it.
Yeah. And I just said the word, and it wasn't in the script, but now that's part of the Good Cops
That's right. universe.
Oh, there he is.
Paul Sanders, our boy.
I met him working on another movie, actually, and that's how Paul got involved.
That's right. He was in
Assisted Fishing.
Assisted Fishing.
Distracted by a petty pervert.
Oh, man.
He was perfect.
He's just amazing.
Love that guy.
The thing that's unique about the first 2 episodes, like Clayton talked about, is we didn't know who Nikki, Sledge, and Perkins were yet. So you can see our outfits aren't consistent yet. We, like Nikki's in this this weird gray jacket, and
He's still a little cool.
yeah, still cool. And my voice is a little lower in this, and it didn't get to that boyish sound later. But the most crucial thing to talk about this episode, I think, is that. But I know once it comes up, it's going to go by quick. But the near kiss between me and Derek was one of the most emotionally directed things to ever happen.
We went full Sanford Meisner on this one.
And Clayton pulled. Go ahead, Derek. You want to talk about it?
Well, we were laughing so hard because we were so close to each other, and we'd be laughing, and then Clayton's like getting upset almost, and politely said, "Gentlemen, can I talk to you in the next room?" He talked to us for a good 15 minutes asking about our first gay experience. And both of us are heterosexuals, and we had to make up a gay experience seriously. And anytime we kind of snickered, he said, "No, that's not it. Tell me again." And we
worked through it
and
for
mine
like
was
half an hour.
Well, mine was a good 5-minute story, and then Jacob had this story that was
I had maybe given it some thought.
It makes you wonder if it was a story at all.
it was very detailed.
Maybe not. But that's for a different commentary track. I think.
Yes.
By the way, one of my favorite moments in this entire this whole season was the reveal of Sledge there. And by the way, here's the near
moment.
miss that was heard through.
But we committed, man.
Well, and I think this is where Nikki becomes
the quiver
a little
of
more
the
effeminate.
lip is the best.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that sort of changed Nikki.
It did.
right there.
That was,
It did, because I'm still trying to play him tough, but after this episode, I think he was changed.
So this was
Satan's penis.
my other favorite reveal throughout the whole thing
How long you been on the
is
force, so they keep calling
this reveal.
About 8 years.
He's there the
the
whole
whole
time.
time they're ripping on him.
Nathan Lorch, wonderful friend and a
Nathan
talented
Lorch.
actor, fantastic producer, and a guy that we put a belt around his shoulders
To make it look like a gun
look
belt.
like a gun holster because we didn't have one.
And the fact that we forget that Sledge is still there.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite gestures of all time is Sledge with the eyes pointing, "I'm watching you." And then the thing he does with his lips, this kills me every time when he does that. It's so great.
Oh man,
great.
that was a fun day to shoot.
Lorch is the best.
Oh, he's amazing.
After this episode, I think we kind of understood where we were going
Yeah,
with the show.
Ashby playing.
Ashby,
Yeah.
Miss
that
Sledge.
girl. She's amazing.
It's amazing how so many real actors came along to do this with
I
us
know,
idiots.
Oh yeah, like actually like legit people. Oh, and
Yeah.
here goes here's Jakey.
That's me.
That's Jake.
That's me
Supposed to be the
pretending
Night
to be
Flasher.
This
the
might
Night
be
Flasher.
It's almost too natural how he does this.
I don't know
Felt
how.
very good.
Oh,
By
and
the way, and I love it.
Bellinger.
I love this slow-mo gunshot
with a giant shell.
Yeah.
giant shells, and there's
Killing
a boy
an
throwing a
elephant.
baseball in the background.
Michael Bellinger's effects in this first episode
Michael
were so
Bellinger.
first season were great.
Yeah, he was our VFX guy, and oh man, he was so talented. One of the biggest VFX things in this entire season that was the largest pain in the buttocks was we had these fake guns, these plastic guns. Yeah. And we were too afraid to actually get busted by the cops with like real looking guns that we kept the orange tips on the guns. And so every single gun we had a really awful cheesy orange tip. And we told Michael, we're like, hey, paint that out, would you? And he's like, oh. And it was the biggest nightmare for VFX. It was like, because the lighting wasn't right.
It wasn't bad until I had the orange jacket.
That's
I
right.
think it's this episode.
That's right.
He couldn't
The
just
orange
color
on
pick
the
it out.
orange.
It was
he
just
had to go
it
frame
matched
by frame.
too much.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
was a
So we're like,
nightmare.
you know what? Let's
Start just risking our
just-
lives with the cops.
let's just
paint
paint the
on them.
barrels, and it'll save us weeks in
We
post.
just put tape on him, I think, at that point.
Yeah, we did actually. You're right.
Oh,
This
my
is Noel's house.
kids.
Sexual at
My
all.
kids have their little planets in the back of my house.
Oh,
That's the
my
first time I
favorite
wore
hit.
this
Here we
suit.
go.
Now, coming up here with his head pop, I can't stop myself from laughing. And you can see it starts to break through when I go down to spit the blood. Watch. I'm totally breaking.
Know it. All right, let's get this over with. But this is Sledge we're talking about here. Good thing I brought
Here comes the
Barbara.
VFX shot.
Yeah, there, so those were painted out.
orange tips.
Those orange tips that.
You can see on the right one that it's flickering.
Yeah, you cannot unsee that now, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to talk about what made this episode, and that was a correction that Derek came up with last minute. It wasn't in the script that at the end of this episode, Nikki punches Perkins back. It's kind of a revenge for getting punched right here. And we ended it there. But then in post, Derek added a key moment right here.
Nice one, Nikki.
That
They still
really
love each other.
set up friendship.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
It bonded the characters in such a way that they could punch each other and still love each
Still
other.
love each other. Yeah.
And,
They're brothers.
And really you see the tone of the show.
Damn binoculars.
Yeah.
Oh, this was Lancaster, California, like Avenue A.
out-
In the
It's
middle
one of
of
my
desert.
favorite sledge moments coming up.
I don't know why Sludge has a GTO though.
I know, and we crammed in that car. Gosh, that back seat was small.
Oh, it was so
Yeah,
hot.
I think we just did it because we had it. You're
Yeah.
like, let's just whatever.
Well, it's my father's car, and he wanted it to be in the show, so we
there you
thought,
go.
well, what the hell?
Oh, there you go.
We'll pop it in
there.
there.
You go. Oh, this is one of my favorite sequences with Perkins.
This is one of our first arguments coming up, actually.
Really?
That's right.
I say shit right here.
That's right.
This is
And-
one of the few swears in Good Cops.
Yeah, we.
And
we- Tim
Tim didn't like it.
Yeah.
And well, tell us about that.
Well, it's such a
Yeah, Tim.
dirty show.
Yeah, let's Tim.
Oh, sorry,
Tim,
Tim,
talk
go
about
ahead.
that.
Tim,
Go
give
ahead,
us a minute or two on that.
Well, we had talked about making a show without cussing, and I had little kids in my family watching, so
That's so
no,
interesting.
totally.
That's a great
You're
point.
right. I'm
You know
sorry
what?
about
We were
that.
wrong.
You know
the
what? We
whole
were
time.
wrong. We should actually let's beat that out.
Yeah,
Can we beat that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
We should go back.
This is great.
Yeah.
Ready?
Here's my favorite sledge
Brain
moment.
is itchy.
Just the way he does
I
that.
know.
Looks like his whole face has been
Like
crushed.
Noel just commits.
Okay, so let's,
Dustin and Chris.
Dustin and
this
Chris.
was a
Oh man,
this
these
was
guys.
a Noel idea before we
Diamond?
wrote the episode. He said we should, in order to be able to crank these out a little faster, we should take some of the work off of our shoulders to film everything. And he said
Give
it would be
up
cool
to someone else's
if
shoulders.
he said if we utilized the talents of Dustin and so.
Dustin Kimmick and Chris Wagner. They
Yeah,
are
he said we should
animators.
utilize them. They
Brilliant.
can animate something, and so we thought, well, I think it would be great if, in the storyline, that they're gonna drug Sledge to death, and then that's how they end up in this crazy, trippy drug sequence.
In order for them to save time, they took the head of a character from one of their old shows, Jeff Talks to God, and then they made the beard Perkins color, and then so that's actually a different. It's actually a totally different character.
It's hilarious. I
But
didn't know that.
strangely enough, it worked.
But they even added in his necklace, like the
Yeah.
detail. They had that crystal necklace he was wearing.
Yeah, this was the episode we. Oh, you know what? This was the next episode after Machinima contacted us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then we were like, we thought it would only be like, all right, 3 episodes. Let's just do a fun little weekend thing. And then Machinima's like, hey, make more. And we're like,
You son of a bitch!
okay, let's make some goofy episodes.
And we had an idea of where we were going.
There's the real
somewhat,
God in the background.
But there was because we were still playing in new territory. Every episode kind of brought new
I
concepts.
think it was like
and
the
ideas.
third or fourth episode. We didn't really know who the Night Flasher was.
Right.
That's right.
We started to flesh
flesh
that
it
out a
out.
little bit and came up with
so to
that,
speak,
sort of
flesh
thing.
out the
Flesh.
Night Flasher.
Alan Steele.
Alan, again, another legit actor.
Met him on Space Ranger.
That's right. On Space Ranger.
Fun fact: we shot this episode and the finale in the same weekend.
Yes, that was
Remember?
a hellish show. 36 hours of shooting in 48
We
hours.
knew
Nonstop.
we knew in order to get this location, to get all the footage we needed to knock it out over a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we shot them both at the same time. But
This is my favorite joke.
Yeah, I know.
kind of a monster
I think Derek came to me and
wears a fake
said,
mustache?
I think it would be funny if he's wearing a fake mustache and they are very offended that anybody would
I
wear
would
one.
do that. It's awful.
And I thought that was so funny, and we really thought our audience would love that joke. But to this day, I never really feel it got the attention it deserved. And they were
some
so
people
mad
Some people enjoyed
at
it.
fake mustache.
By the way, this is the Perkins that I love.
Yeah.
Like, this is when it's like, oh, okay, Perkins is just a beast.
He's an animal.
He's just an animal.
I remember when he said, I think it was the second or third take, Clayton said action, and then all of a sudden I went somewhere else, and you guys were yelling cut,
Oh, boy.
and I kept going crazy.
The first time we pulled the pants down.
Yeah.
So,
Jacob was too close.
Nikki's
can
character.
I take this one?
Yeah, go for it, please.
When we pulled down Derek's pants, there was some bouncage of his junk, and it actually hit Jake's chin.
Yep. I'm a changed man. Guys. I'm a changed man.
We did 2 takes, and we thought, I want to leave it in, but we thought, you know what?
Some countries were married.
Yeah, just that should probably just be left to the cutting room floor.
And Derek, was it warm in that room?
It was freezing. I got sick.
It was winter.
I actually started shaking. I think I said to you guys, I'm in trouble, and you guys turned to me, and I'm like kind of falling down. I'm like shaking, and you guys rushed to get blankets that were not anywhere near us, because why would we have blankets in a damp
Dungeon.
warehouse?
I forgot that.
It was like 30 blankets and
Yeah,
things, right?
and you guys were
there was-
rubbing me. I thought I was going to
they
go
were
in shock.
filthy. It was-
I thought I
it
was going
was-
to go in shock.
This is a Clayton moment. This is
Yeah.
a classic Clayton moment.
I know. Isn't somebody manually flickering the lights right there? And then we had to add in the sound of
Yeah.
him buzzing.
But
That's
the
another
fact,
Tim
like the
moment.
literalness of putting a light bulb over him when he realizes that's just
Oh
so
yeah, that is
classic.
that's a Clayton joke
brilliant.
for sure.
Clayton never even got that joke until like 3 years later.
No, I didn't get that joke. I didn't get that he actually did, in fact, defecate out the key.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the courage to
strength.
pick through his own poop.
Yeah.
I thought it was still stuck in his colon.
No, he got it out.
Oh, this is the award-winning episode.
Yes,
This is the award-winning episode.
This won us an award at Comedy Shorts Festival.
That's right. That's right.
Love the idea of
You guys are
This is
kill a sledge.
This is one of my favorite episodes.
This is one of the few things we spent budget on. We actually rented a van.
And this right.
We're actually a really good mood because episode 5 got
Just like took off. It just exploded.
Machinima.
Promoted it.
That's right. And the the big the crazy thing is the wonderful Christmas spirit was amongst us all.
Yeah. And I love that recorder, by the way. Where did we get that?
That was mine. My grandfather was an old sound man back in the 50s and 60s, and that was the same recorder that they used in Francis Coppola's The Conversation. It was the same model, and from the 70s, and it's an old. It's an old tape recorder that
It's
I still have
amazing.
in my closet.
It's like
love
the
it.
most incredible prop
Everybody today when you go.
you could find. It's
That's right.
Christmas time.
Josh Burnell.
And
He
this-
just made an awesome movie that's really taken off in movies.
What I love about this episode is it had this die-hard feeling to it because it was Christmas time, and so in the audio we added the bells from
That's right.
Die Hard
Yeah.
at the beginning. And
That was all Tim.
That's what I loved about it. It's a cop show taking place during the holidays, and so it totally had that. And also, this is also where we're really beginning to develop that Sledge is an alcoholic. Because he shows up with Twizzlers and whiskey, and we had already had him drinking his flask, and so we were like, well, clearly Sledge is a drunk. That's right. You know, like he's the drunkest cop ever, and that's where that came together.
And we're still, and I think right around now is when we realize that's his superpower.
Yeah,
Like-
he's drunk all the time.
He's all the time, and he's immortal. You cannot kill this
And
man.
here we go. The gun naming. I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Mind of a night flasher. Earn their
Look at that
trust.
stash.
That stash seems darker. Was it darker in the early days?
We couldn't find the original stash.
We couldn't find the original
The
stash.
first one was ruined.
It literally
ruined.
was destroyed.
And so we got, so for a couple episodes he has a black stash, and then we got back to the original stash.
And here we
Here
are
goes. Yay!
with a blurred out.
I remember coming up with some cliches that would actually help write the stories, and I remember one of them was, if we're going to do this, we'll do it by the book.
Yeah.
And that,
The 2 golf balls falling were a
God.
mistake.
Yes.
All night long, somebody kept nudging the table, and those 2 balls would keep falling.
that's right.
And suddenly we're like, what? We just need to shoot the 2 balls dropping.
This was shot a whole different day.
Yeah,
This was.
Paul wasn't able to make that shoot day that we did this, so we had to shoot over our shoulders.
That's right.
So we were naked twice.
That's right. That's right.
And funny story, we were not actually fully naked for that walk-in shot, but we did construct kind of a loincloth mechanism with duct tape. Needless to say, it was very
Duct tape
painful.
stuck to our grundle hair.
I was the
very
last one that put it on, so we kind of figured out some mistakes. So at the end of it, all I remember, I just took mine off like it was nothing, and all I heard was screaming in the bathroom.
Oh, man.
And in the bedroom, Noel and Jacob going, "Oh!"
Welcome to
And the
Brazilian
wire
waxing.
joke that Nikki's wearing a wire is still a classic. Nikki having it taped to his chest with no idea where the base went.
This shot right here was one of the biggest fixes.
So close.
It was like we ran out of time, and we're like, how are we going to do this? It's literally sunset. We cannot pull this off. And then who had the brilliant idea of just? Was it Tim?
Tim. Yeah,
Tim.
he said, they don't have a compass, right? They don't know where
Are they
we're
going to put a
facing.
compass on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, that's sunrise. And all you have to say is, sun's coming up.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, the sunset turns into sunrise.
Because
And
everything
one line
we'd
of
shot
dialogue.
before, we were running out of daylight, and so we just decided to
That was the
reverse
very last shot of Good Cops, actually.
That was
right,
season
season
1.
one.
Yep, that's
Season
right.
1, we didn't.
God, that felt good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were on the roof of the warehouse. It was a beautiful moment.
Listen to yourselves.
Oh, and this is when we first hear about Perkins' bum fights, and I want to know more about that.
One reason only.
Oh, and this speech.
monologue.
Crime forever.
This is the speech where we discovered Nikki, finally.
Yeah.
The last day of shooting.
Episode 7, we finally figure out who Nikki was.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And this
A
is
little
it.
boy.
A little boy.
Yeah. That's what inspired me the most about where he was headed. Is he turned more and more like an innocence. He was like the innocence on the force, and this in crime forever idea that's so absurd. But Sledge and Perkins rally around him like they're taking care. Yeah, it's not absurd. They take care of him. It's almost like they're kind of these big brother father figures to him.
And Clayton's note on that was, this is your Oscar speech as an 11-year-old boy.
Yeah, that's right. And that was the use of
Derek's tattoo.
Yeah.
The Smurf bunghole.
What's the story behind that? Yeah, I called it the Smurf.
Oh my God.
This one right here. That's the one. Are you sure?
Years ago, I got that with a buddy of mine. It was almost like a dare. I was going through a breakup. He was going through a divorce. And he was like, want to get tattoos? I'm like, sure. And I thought he was kidding. And on the way to the tattoo place, I had no idea what I was going to get. And we were looking through all these things. I said, oh, wormhole.
Wormhole.
Not as exciting story as you
Yeah, but
a lot
story.
of people think it looks like a Smurf anus is what I get out of it. So.
Well, we decided to write it in the story because you
Yeah.
could see it so clearly, and we were trying to find a way to connect the chief.
Well, one of my
to
favorite
us.
moments in Lethal Weapon was where the kid saw a tattoo.
The Special
and
Forces
Mel
tattoo.
Gibson is like, he had a tattoo like that. Was it this? and that's where that whole came from. Like, are you sure?
That's
I
right.
did my best Mel Gibson.
And this is our other ripoff.
Yeah, we did
that
a
was from the Terminator.
Yeah.
The line about the storm is coming.
The little boy in the end of Terminator 1.
And we were shooting, and there was not a cloud in sight. And we were like, how do we make that work? And we said, well, obviously there's not a storm coming.
Yeah.
But then we knew the next scene in the finale, there was rain. So
Because
it's
we
right.
shot
It's-
that
it's-
already.
Yeah, we
That's right. We
it.
shot episode 8 before episode 7. And
Wow, this-
we knew.
Here it comes. One of my favorite things we've ever made.
Oh yeah.
This is still my favorite.
Yeah, Good
thing
Cops
we've
season
ever done.
1 finale is probably my favorite thing we've done.
Yeah,
next to the movie.
everything was just working.
And there's the storm. We shot that before episode 7.
We know you're.
And this was this little special effect here was with a little air compressor. We blew Derek's hair.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And every single gun blast is visual effects by Dollinger Fluids, right? And including this.
Oh, I love that. This sequence alone took us like 10 minutes to shoot all the loading up. It was so ridiculous.
Once and for all, cover me. No.
This is Jacob's greatest writing.
Threesome.
Oh.
In a threesome.
I remember reading the script for this one. I was laughing so hard.
And I go down.
Don't stop until we finish.
And that's how we got the title, Threesome of Justice.
Shock the shotgun. Shock the shotgun.
And then, oh god, I love doing this.
Best
This is so fun.
visual effects.
Yeah.
Our 12-year-old selves are just going, yeah,
We got to be
Perkins is a
action heroes.
Muppet.
Oh, Perkins is a Muppet.
Well, he's part Mark.
The fact that Bellinger decided to make the car just be on fire and explode. That was not in the script.
That was
That's
not in the
like-
script. But
That
it
was
was like,
great.
I'm just gonna blow it
I
up.
love this shot. This is this is such a great iconic image for these three with the door raising. So great.
I miss this
Tim,
location.
tell me a minute about this. Is one of my favorite songs. Tell us something about this one.
Well, it's obviously an iconic moment of super badassery, so I had to come up with a nice badass riff to go along with it.
Yeah, right?
Totally.
He's so right on about that.
What if it
Oh,
was
and
sad,
this
what he
is
just said?
Well, he was correctly saying.
Okay.
This sequence to actually art direct this took half the day to put those
Yeah.
damn red
This is the only visual
lines
effects that I
around.
did. I did those.
Oh, you did you? I
It
forgot
took,
that you
it
did
took me
that.
forever because I don't know what I'm
Well,
doing.
some of those names on the board were like Clayton's wife's name. We had like friends.
That's right. I worked in a show with a girl named Liz Lee, and that was Liz Lee from the show.
Yeah, My Life is Liz, right?
My Life is Liz, that's right.
Paul was such a. Oh man, he was great, just doing whatever.
Yeah, he was down for anything.
I just love the look of the warehouse with the minimal lighting and the blood like on Nathan's face.
So well done.
Well, I mean, we were kind of like just making fun of cop shows in a sense, all the way up to this episode. We are in a cop movie right now.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a cop movie.
7 episodes of making fun of cop movies, and then we make a cop movie.
Yeah, it's great.
I can't tell you how. I mean, this is an exhausting day, but at the end of the day, it was like this is so much fun.
Yeah.
To run around with like big guns and like play cops and robbers.
Here is.
I love that lights are in the frame. We're just like, screw it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a warehouse.
Here's
Here's my
lights.
favorite Nikki moment coming up right here.
Okay, the light
Alan.
flares.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
So awesome.
The bartender.
I still say that the bartender all the time.
I still say we were right.
I love how there's a little bit of Gloria Swanson in Perkins.
What do you say?
The bartender say.
We finish this. Man on man.
Here it is.
Alan Steele, man. What a sport.
Watch Nikki's mouth.
Crybaby wants to take another swing at me, huh?
There it is. Best Nikki moment.
This is the fight. This is.
Right in the head.
Oh, he's so strong.
And you guys directed me on this. You said like he would be so excited that he got one hit in and he would rejoice.
That was such a perfectly timed hit.
Jacob.
You were on the box.
Jacob injured himself in this one.
That's right.
I did.
Yeah.
I love this unbelievably unnecessarily dramatic moment.
Yeah.
That was all Derek, if I remember that idea.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, for sure.
This is Victoria.
Nice
this was
bookend
so
to the first
hilarious.
episode. We
And
wanted
here's-
to
Yeah, that's
full
right.
circle.
We wanted to come full circle, and this is totally like a film noir femme fatale moment.
Yeah.
The fact that the good cops are always right is, I think, an important.
Yeah. And we discovered that while we were making it. We were like,
that's right.
they can't be wrong. They can't, you know, if she got arrested, she has to be bad. You know,
Right.
like all the people that look like they're getting screwed over by our mistakes, we're right all along.
That's right. They're never wrong.
Yeah.
Shoot!
No.
This kiss is so hilarious.
Oh my! And I love this like.
And there's this moment too that Derek does here where he kind of goes like, oh.
They're doing that thing like.
This is my Harrison Ford moment.
Yeah,
that's right.
Clayton said.
Are you?
Perkins, baby.
Yeah.
Cuffs her one-handed.
Bad mother's.
And then
This is funny. This is a kiss that kills me.
Like I'm chewing bubble gum.
No.
So we go from that insanity to this unbelievably touching scene from Noel Carroll.
Yeah. This was where the series, we knew we had the ability to go into this very kind of heavy, serious tone.
I don't even know if we would have done that unless he worked 34 hours straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so tired.
Yeah, Noel was tired.
We
We were
broke
all
him.
tired.
He did know his lines.
Well, when you're producing.
That's true. When
He
you're producing,
accidentally
I'll give you
locked
that.
his door. He couldn't get into his office.
Yeah, it was my fault.
That's right.
Right, Derek, when I did that?
Yeah, remember when you did that?
But this is this moment where we're like, you know,
Like,
this is actually dramatic and like we earned this.
Well,
I don't know.
we wanted to really make a cop movie, and we wanted to send the audience for a whirl where they see at the end like, wait a minute, am I crying?
That was.
Wait a second.
That was.
Well, and the glasses coming off changes our
yeah.
when we are these guys and their glasses come off, it really
They're
adds
different
this
people.
kind of gravity to the moment because you're like,
they're
okay, I can see their eyes
They're
now, you
human.
know.
Oh, that
Paul
is
so good.
creepy. So creepy. So good.
All this out of her mind.
And I don't even remember who
this
came
is
up
so
with this
good.
bit, which was poor Nikki is the worst shot ever. He was trying to kill the chief and he shot his own partner again.
And of course, so who would save the day?
But our beast Perkins.
Satan's penis.
Yeah.
That gun
son.
shell, and here it comes.
This is Roger, right?
Roger.
Yeah, Roger.
Bullet spinning.
That's right. Yeah.
Nikki
Oh,
being a
man.
bad shot is something that has stayed as part of the folklore, for sure. There it goes, right through there. But okay, this piece of music, Timmy. Talk a little bit about this song because this was a really powerful thing, you know, right here.
Well, and we had been talking about having a moment in the finale that'd make the audience cry. So I said, if you write the script for it, I'll write the music for it.
Of course we did. So at this moment here, honestly, like I'm looking at my buddies and like I'm shooting this going, when did they learn to be such amazing actors? It's so good.
Yeah. Noel,
We were tired.
Noel was so good that he teared me up when I was holding. I was
You
actually
weren't crying though. But this is the-
not fake crying, like real.
Yeah, like
it was
tears.
so believable that he was dying in my arms. It felt legitimate, you know.
One of my favorite gags, I don't know who came up with this idea, but that, by the way, is amazing. But the idea that Nikki's bullet dislodges
the other bullet.
first bullet and
I
saves him.
think it was.
And it saved him.
I think it was a two-part. Like I think I came up with the idea of having Nikki shoot Sledge again, and then
I think I did the bullet coming
Yeah,
out of the
no.
bullet.
Noel was like, "Oh, so it dislodges."
The first one,
The first
it actually
one.
saves him.
But the thing is, we never actually discussed like, is the second bullet still inside him?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, sure.
they're
no, that's right.
yeah,
He's got two bullets.
No, Nikki's actually saved. Nikki, in his own way,
Saved
saved
Sledge.
him.
Yeah, but there could be 3 other bullets inside of you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's about 50 other ones inside Sledge.
That Nikki has put inside of Sledge.
Man.
Tim took our guitar riff theme song and took it to a whole new level with this closing titles, with
so
this
good.
theme song. It really became this like TV-worthy. You could almost see us like airing on Fridays
There's
at 9
future
p.m. With our guns drawn as the good cops. So
That's right.
this was really, just seeing the yellow text bold at the end. I think we all realized that we were onto something.
That's right.
That this universe was bigger than we even expected. So
It was the most amazing feeling to actually, there was so much work. Every single weekend for months we did this show.
Yeah.
And as soon as we saw this, the ending credits, I don't know, I kind of wanted to cry. It was the most beautiful.
I'm pretty sure we all cried.
I think we all did.
So that was season 1.
Thanks, guys, for checking this out. If you did.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and on to season 2.